Welcome to Tiger Wolf. I'm Josh, and this is David.
Please be aware, this podcast contains strong language and spoilers. So it's been a while.
It has. I think you need to decide on a few more series to pick up.
Yeah, I know, right? So we're coming back for a revisit for Venom on Pagedom today. It's gonna be a little bit different because Venom has popped up in a couple of different places lately.
Is it connected to the recent stories about Venom?
Yes. So the whole fighting the god and all that happened. And then
Just gloss over that, David.
oh, I mean, that's covered previously.
Did we?
Yes.
We covered the fight?
Yeah. They talked about how Miles Morales Spider-Man was there helping him.
Oh, yeah, I totally remember that. What the fuck is he talking about, guys?
But so he has the fight, and then he gets captured by the Maker, who is the evil alternate reality version of Reed Richards.
I thought he left, and that's why there's the whole Dragon Age Inquisition.
What?
Oh, different Maker.
Oh, okay. Got it. Sorry, that one. What? Okay. Which led to the realization that if the symbiote gets a hold of DNA of someone it has previously been bound with, it can basically recall the memories of the time with that person. So
they can't otherwise?
I guess from the way it's
So that means
currently established.
if Venom leaves his host and goes to another one, he can't remember being with the previous one?
He remembers being with them, but the suit takes on a different form because of the new host. Like, compare the sleek, classic Venom, or classic black suit worn by Peter Parker.
Okay.
Compare that to our traditional Eddie Brock Venom with the teeth and the long tongue.
And the muscles.
Yeah. Compare that to Flash Thompson's Agent Venom. Looked like he was in riot gear.
Okay.
So Venom gets a hold of a bit of Flash Thompson's DNA and uses it to escape from the Maker's hold. As the Flash Thompson...
So he can make himself riot gear Venom.
He did that, and Eddie could hear Flash in his head because it was the leftover residual parts of Flash that were still with the symbiote.
The synapses that were connected to Venom were revitalized.
Yeah. Which I thought was really cool, actually. Because that's potential of, giving us seeing a lot of other old suits, versions of Venom.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Eddie, but my favorite Venom is still Flash Thompson. Like, when he got it, I really liked it.
Well, yeah, but Eddie was the OG.
Eddie's the classic
proper
Venom. So, moving on, after he escapes from the Maker, he goes to the most oddest place I can think of. He goes to San Francisco to his abusive father. Because Eddie wants to try to be better. He wants to try to make amends. And,
I mean,
okay. He wants to be a hero. Eddie does. Well, he gets there. He finds out that there's a kid living with his dad.
Okay.
And, his dad tells him that's his little brother. Eddie starts feeling like his cancer's coming back. He's starting acting more sick. Because his symbiote to him it's basically the emotions it had are gone. It's been reset to 0, basically.
But it can remember being with Flash.
Because it had a bit of his DNA.
Yeah,
Once that wore off,
trying to...
Yeah, once that wore off, the symbiote went quiet again, basically.
Okay.
It basically reacts.
So being part of Eddie's DNA isn't helping.
No. But that's when it starts digging a little deeper and you find out why it's not helping. Because it lied to Eddie for a very long time. The entire arc of him getting cancer was a lie implemented onto his body and in his brain by the symbiote to make Eddie stay with it. Because it was afraid he was going to leave it.
Oh, he had abandonment issues.
I mean, Peter Parker literally threw it aside once he found out it was alive. Yes, there are other bits to that.
I don't know what happened
his aggression, and
I don't know what happened with the comic books, but Spider-Man being irritable is not a good idea. He's really powerful.
But, you find out that Dylan isn't Eddie's little brother. Dylan is Eddie's son.
Okay.
And the symbiote, when it, figures all of that out, again, it literally saves Eddie from dying because, it's fucked up his body. It fixes that and then leaves Eddie. It walks away from Eddie because of what it's done to him.
And he doesn't want to potentially be a point of contention probably between him and his son.
Yeah. Leaving Eddie and his son in San Francisco. It just assumes the shape of someone you can't see the face and just goes away, vanishes. Start the War of Realms. Cue the awesome music.
Oh wait, no, that's Jurassic Park.
Eddie and his son get back to New York. Yeah, go to the one place where, everything's going to go to shit.
Well, to be fair, he's safe there because that's where Doctor Strange has his humble magic academy thing.
And there's also, Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four and some of the Avengers and the street level heroes.
Don't you just disregard Daredevil like that?
Well, the War of Realms is kicking up when they get back to New York. Eddie doesn't have anything to defend himself. He is not a hero. He is a normal man trying to protect his son, which some would argue gives him superpowers.
Lead pipe. Eddie just needs a lead pipe.
But he ends up getting, he tries to save a group of people from some dark elves. He gets stabbed repeatedly, but doesn't stay down. He keeps getting back up.
Well, yeah, he's too used to having something that can keep him going in him.
Well, he's reeling, and one of the witches that works for Malekith, the leader of the onslaught onto the earth, offers him a dream crystal.
Why?
Because she believes he houses great rage and... Oh, wait, sorry, that was the Green Lantern. That was Red Lantern's...
That's Green Rage, not Great Rage.
That was the Red Lantern Corps I was starting to recite there. Basically, she wants to turn him into a weapon for Malekith. So she's giving him the ability to give himself a weapon and go out and fight.
Against her people.
The more he fights, the more he will be drawn to their side because he will start to lose himself.
Right, but why would he accept...
At least that's the plan.
Why would he accept this from his enemy? Like, clearly there's a trap there. Like, there's no
Because
other...
He wants the power to protect his son.
Okay.
So he takes the crystal. And...
I mean, of course he does. I knew that's where that was going.
Yeah. And it gives him a rune-etched symbiote suit
Because that's what he knows to
because
be.
that's his weapon.
That's how he knows how to be a hero.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of ironically.
Yeah. And he starts wrecking house on her people. And, she's smiling and giggling. And then he looks at her and goes, by the way, I'll never answer to you. And cuts off one of her arms.
The head's a little bit higher, but
He's like Thor. Ooh. She runs away.
damn. He aimed for the head the next couple times.
Yeah, the next few times he did. She runs away, leaving Eddie to just continue to wreck house against her, the people who are invading New York. And she goes to
Master, I've been disarmed. Sorry.
She goes to one of Eddie's, well, not Eddie's, one of Venom's enemies. A man who goes by the name Jack-o'-lantern. Yeah, it's just as stupid as you think it is. She gives him a crystal to go kill Venom.
Oh, gosh. She doesn't understand. This isn't working out for her very well.
Which leads to...
Why is Spider-Man punching Venom in that picture?
He's recalling his history. This version of Jack-o'-lantern.
Dude, he's the fucking goblin. He's a fucking demo goblin, but with fires.
Yeah.
He's riding a fire bat.
Yep.
With a pumpkin head that's on fire.
Yep.
And it looks like he's about to throw a pumpkin bomb. A pumpkin bomb.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know if you know, and I know you know.
I don't
know if they know, but I know you know. Is used by a particular goblin.
It's used by most of the goblins.
They don't all look like
They
pumpkins.
all look like pumpkins, but
his look like pumpkins.
the green and Hobbs look like pumpkins.
I thought it was demo goblins that look like pumpkins.
No, his look like flaming skulls.
Oh, okay. So also looks kind of like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I don't look familiar.
ensuing fight happens between Venom and Jack-o'-lantern. And Jack-o'-lantern's like, I still know your weakness. Because he thinks the thing on Eddie is the symbiote.
Yeah. Well, of course he does. It looks.
So he's like, I still know your weakness is fire. And just starts whooshing fire on him. And Eddie's sitting there and like the fire engulfs him. And the fire starts to die down. And he stands up and the symbiote has changed into what looks like an Asgardian suit of armor. Like he looks like he's got the long beard. He's got the horned helmet.
Oh, really? Give me the book while you talk about this.
Yeah, it looks cool. I was like, yes, I am all for this. And he realizes that the only way he's going to be able to defeat the two frost giants that suddenly show up to help Jack-o'-lantern is by, growing and stomping ass, which is what he does. Sorry, that part's before he gets the armor. But after he gets the armor, he's like, all right, the only way I'm going to stop Jack-o'-lantern is I'm going to have to go a bit berserk. Keep going.
Those are the frost giants.
Yeah, I was remembering it out of order because it's the frost giants. He gets big. He whoops their ass. Then the fire.
And the fire, yeah.
Like an entire 2 pages of fire. And then I like that.
Yeah, that's totally a slightly venomized version of the Skyrim helmet.
Really?
Yabba.
Oh, yeah, I guess it is. But yeah, he then proceeds.
I like Norse stuff, so.
He proceeds to decide the only way I'm going to stop him is by going a little berserk. And that's exactly what he does. He starts raising hell.
Looks like she grew her hand back. Oh, that's more of a fire dragon. That's bigger than it looked like.
It got bigger. But
That's what you tell him, David.
here's the catch. While he's going to berserk and fighting him, civilians are in danger. You know, Jack-o'-lantern's plan is just to roast everyone alive.
Yeah, I'll say it looks like he's going berserk because civilians are in danger, and it's the only way he's actually going to be able to bring them down. It's interesting that he's going to be able to unlock his Venom rage without the Venom.
Eddie's a very angry man. So here's the thing, though. He does it. He starts to win, but he realizes if he keeps fighting the way he's fighting, he can't save the civilians. So he separates.
Must be in the other book. It's not in this one.
Yeah, it's in the other one. He separates the symbiote to go attach itself to the civilians.
But it's not actually a symbiote.
It's not actually a symbiote, but it's a dream crystal. It's whatever he wants it to be.
Okay.
So basically, he gives them bits of the symbiote and gives them the ability to A, fight back, B, escape. And with the little bit of the symbiote he still has, he takes down Jack-o'-lantern. And then in doing so, after he takes him down, he drops the dream crystal and walks away and goes back to his son to hide out in the bunker. He
can't keep helping if he does that.
He realizes the only important thing to him at that point is his son.
Wait.
He wants to get back to Dylan.
Yes. And the best way to protect his son from this war is to stop the war.
Argumentatively, yes, but there are enough heroes.
Dude, he could just make his fake. He can just make his fake symbiote thing a little child backpack in the back.
And now your halfling can attack from advantage on a higher plane.
It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground.
But here's the question. Where's the actual Venom symbiote with all this, right?
I mean, I guess. I don't know. The art cover is Carnage, and he's not even in it.
Cover.
I know, but you would think even the variant covers would still be kind of related to what's going on.
Kind of related, yeah. I mean, Carnage is mentioned in the arc prior to the War of the Realms, but literally it's a passing mention that you don't really understand anything for unless you read the Carnage issue, Carnage title.
I'll say, doesn't he has his own comic book? Doesn't
he had a short 4 or 5 issue of them.
Miniseries.
They're basically bringing him back to life because there's a group of people who worship Carnage. Because of course there is.
Anyway.
Well,
so where's Venom in all this, David?
He's trying to actually be a hero. The symbiote is trying to be a hero and fighting in New York in another area.
Okay.
He gets captured by Malekith, the leader of the opposing invading army.
Okay.
I have questions on how this works.
How he got captured because he can become a liquid?
No, I have questions on where this goes. Because assumptively and kind of established, unless I read it wrong, in the beginning of this Venom run, it's established nobody knows who Null is except for the symbiotes.
Okay. Though I could see a being of the Dark Elves history as this character might know something about it.
He takes the Venom symbiote and forges it into a new Necro sword. Or Venom Blade, as he calls it.
Is this where I put in my audible sigh?
Yeah, go for it. And is using it against, this is where it comes to the tie-in for the War of the Realms. He's using it against the team of 4 Thors that have been gathered throughout time.
4 Thor?
Yes.
Are they the Thor 4?
No. The joke is the Thor Corps.
The 4 Thor Corps?
It's current present Thor who has given up an eye to the Yggdrasil to unlock magic.
He's just getting as close as he can to being his dad, isn't he?
He's already lost an arm. He's given up an eye. And it still hasn't given him at that point. It still hadn't given him what he wanted. So he offers up the last chunk of his Mjolnir as an offering.
Why does he need magic? He still has his Thunderbolt.
He still has Thunder, but he wants more to make sure he can stop Malekith. Well,
okay.
They go to the future to get the Rune King Thor.
The one that has magic.
Yeah, the king, the All-Father Thor from the far-flung future. They go back to the past, get Viking era arrogant.
Oh, they can do this all with the Bifrost?
Hasn't lifted the hammer Thor.
Why?
And they also acquire Jane Foster.
Hold on. So hold on. So until that one, they have 3 Thors with no Mjolnirs.
No, the far-flung one has Mjolnir.
Okay. I'll just take it. Continue.
And then, Jane Foster rebuilds from the shards of the Ultimate Universe Thor's hammer. She rebuilds the hammer out of the shards and is wielding it to help them take down Malekith. So, Malekith threatens Freya. Like, he has her by the throat, and he's talking about how he's going to kill her. The Thor who has yet to been able to pick up the hammer, who literally, if he gets hit, the present Thor and future Thor feel it.
Jesus Christ. This is a great idea, guys.
If he dies, assumptively, they die.
Yeah.
Charges headlong at Malekith to save his mother.
Yeah.
Who's not his biological mother. Thor's actually born from Odin and Gaia, not Odin and Freya.
Gaia from Greek mythology?
Yes.
Oh, God.
So, he's swinging. He's got his eyes closed, and he's just punching and swinging his arms, trying to just knock the hell out of everything. Then he realizes he's hitting things. He just can't quite put his finger on how he's hitting things. He has his eyes closed. In his hand is Mjolnir, and he is wrecking house with it.
He closed
his
eyes. Is this Thor before he understood who he was? Like, what?
He knows he's the god of thunder.
Does he?
He knows.
Really? Because it sounds like he's 8 years old.
This damn hammer. He'd given up on taking the hammer because he couldn't never lift it. He didn't understand what was required.
So this is the origin story of how Thor got the hammer now?
He then proceeds to wreck house with the hammer, and the old Thor walks up and goes, that's mine.
I mean, they can't say anything about his personality.
I thought that bit was funny. But my question now is, since our Venom, the symbiote, has been turned into a version of the Necro Sword and assumptively turned back because Malekith basically makes it grow over him into a version of Venom in the fight.
What was the fucking point of making the sword?
Exactly. A, what was the point in the sword? B, how did he know to make how did he know the symbiote could be made into the sword without knowing about Null?
I mean, you're suggesting that he doesn't know about Null. He might have.
Yeah, assumptively, he doesn't know. Assumptively.
He may know. He might be able to recognize a magic tool when he sees one.
Yeah, maybe. But I think it kind of bugs me that they've done a lot of work in building the symbiote into its own entity.
And it feels like they're kind of throwing it away.
And they literally just it's nothing more than a tool now again. And I don't like that.
That's what the whole lore about it is that they're just a tool.
Yes,
You hear that, Venom? You're just a tool.
I don't.
Not like the band. You're not. You're a tool. Like
you're like a hammer.
Like, no, I meant like, you know how you say like that guy's such a tool.
I don't like the fact that they are. I mean, don't get me wrong. What they've done with Eddie, I like. They've made him more. I like this Eddie a lot more than traditional Eddie. The Eddie who's lost the symbiote before, who now understands a lot deeper of a connection to it, lore behind it. He realizes he can do things without it. Even though his default dream is to go back to it. Which probably speaks volumes about Eddie's psychosis. But the symbiote had developed into its own character. And they've completely ripped that chunk out of it. It went, 20, it walked forward 20 feet, and they just ripped it back 50. And I don't like that. I mean, sure, this is a chance to build it up in a different way and explore this other new version of Venom that we can do. Yeah, cool. Okay.
I'm sorry, David.
That's what alternate realities are for. Go do it there.
I thought you were a comic book fan. Because this is literally 90% of their plot summaries.
Yes. I'm kind of tired of the constant deconstruction of our heroes just to make them appear weaker than they are.
Well, yeah, but when you create heroes that are as powerful as they create them,
Norse gods,
especially a few select from Marvel and most of DC, there's a reason why it's called Gods Among Us. Then, what else can you do? Because we need them to be this powerful for this enemy, but they can't be as powerful for the next because that enemy is not as powerful. Unless you make them that powerful, then you have this whole force of evil entities that can pretty much wreak havoc on the universe, except only one of them comes around at a time.
Oh, they're sitting in a queue.
Tesseract?
No, not a cube, a queue.
Oh, yeah.
All right, number 77. Woo! My turn!
Can we skip that one?
Sit down. But I'm 77. No, you're 44, Thanos. That's a 7, right?
Farmer Thanos needs some glasses.
No, that's a 4. 77. All right, Loki, let's go. Wait a minute. It just, yes, it's a comic book trope. Yes, I get it. And sometimes when they've done it really well. There have been amazing stories where they have destroyed the heroes just to bring them back to, what they were. At the same time,
yeah. The problem, the main issue there,
Venom to where he was fucking great.
But you also got to look at it like this way too. Generally, when they do build them back up to what they were, it's exactly what they were. It's not a new, more developed version of themselves when it comes to the next issue.
Yeah. Where the symbiote was I liked. It had a personality.
It sounds like what you really desire is continuity. Less the same stories over and over again, more actual consequences to those stories.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's something that we can't have because individuals don't know how to let go of people.
That, and you also, just the fact that you're talking about writers that aren't working as a team, working on this stuff.
I mean, it just...
So it might be time for us to start our own comic book series. David? Come on, if Savage Dragon's still around, I think we could do this.
You realize Savage Dragon has basically...
No. This is being posted on YouTube.
It's beer.
Exactly. We need to stay away from the beer.
Well, I suppose that's the end of the episode.
Please like, comment, follow, and share. And also, more importantly, thank you for listening.
Take care.
Bye.